Good morning, friends, colleagues, and family. Thank you for having me speak here today. It's an honor. I recently finished my dissertation on the Beowulf manuscript, and I've spent a considerable amount of time reading Old English this past year. But every fall when I begin to teach my classes, I think about the origins of two words that are at the heart of the humanities: reading and writing. To write comes from an Anglo-Saxon verb, not surprisingly, riton, and it means something like to cut a figure on something. Well, the earliest writers were, of course, carvers and chiselers, and the earliest speakers of what would become Old English carved rune stones. But the meanings of these figures were not obvious to everyone. Someone had to read them, and thus, reading comes from a verb, read on, which could mean something like to counsel, give advice, or to explain. It should come as no surprise that riddle and reading have a shared etymological relationship. Someone must uncover the meaning of a riddle in order to understand it. Reading, in fact, was not originally silent. Someone skilled in bookcraft, or book learning, explained what was written and often offered an interpretation. Listeners would discover something in the text that they had not heard of or thought of before. And back in the Anglo-Saxon era, reading and writing were specialized skills. And of course, today, by contrast, that is so different. Many people can read and write, and that's a good thing. But the central goal of read on has not changed. Through the humanities, we uncover what it is that makes us human. The humanities literally makes us more human. But unlike the scribes and monks and noblemen of the past, we have the world at our fingertips. We can experience and share in human perspectives and feelings from people who lived thousands of years ago, or lived on the other side of the world, or experienced joy or misery that might have previously been unknown to us. Our ability to share and our desire to do so is at the heart of Read On, and it broadens and deepens the human experience. There is a short poem known as Maxims 1, or sometimes known as Cotton Gnomes, that captures a very Anglo-Saxon attitude about knowledge. They prioritized experience as the great mark of wisdom. Sooth beeth switchulost, sink beest dearest, gold, gomena hiewam, and gamos noterest, fin hierum frod, se the fela hiebidaf. You all got that? No. Truth is trickiest, and treasure and gold is dearest to all men, and the old man is wisest, wintered through former years, he who has experienced much. Through the humanities, we can become rich and wise with experience too. Thank you.